I just found the worst car ever made, and that's a word I'm using very loosely. Calling this thing that I'm about to show you a car is a disgrace to every automobile that's ever been manufactured. It is the most absurd vehicle that I've ever laid eyes on, and luckily this gizmo comes with its own video that was uploaded to Reddit about 3 years ago. I learned about it from Penguin Z0, and the second my eyes gazed upon this thumbnail, I knew I had to make a video talking about it. So with introductions out of the way, let's get right into the video and take a look at this puppy.
Sorry, what's your name again?
Roger.
Roger? Hey Roger, can I have a chat with you? Just a chat, man. I don't wanna call the police. I just wanna have a chat with you, okay?
Yeah.
So, why do you think it's okay, brother? And I'm just filming for our own protection, so you can't tell the police I touched you, okay? No, Roger, I just want to chat with you, Roger.
Jesus Christ, just leaving him out in the dust. Good luck trying to catch him now that he's shifted into maximum overdrive. Running after him is like trying to catch Sonic. Godspeed, good luck, cause that ain't happening. This isn't even a vehicle. It's a goddamn doohickey. This makes Cybertrucks look like f***ing Corvettes. Little bastard wanted to be like Guido, but instead ended up being the getaway thing for a pervert. He'd actually get more respect driving a roller skate. What's worse than spending thousands of dollars on something that runs on quarters is paying extra to get it custom wrapped for the Toronto Raptors. It is the most absurd contraption with wheels that I have ever seen. I now fully understand why South Park constantly rips on Canada, because this thing brings down the value of the whole country. This doesn't even look real. It looks like some off-brand vehicle used in a cartoon. I am befuddled as to why anyone would buy this over anything else. Now I'm sure y'all are just foaming at the mouth wondering what in tarnation is going on in that video. Well, allow me to give y'all the lore. So, the cameraman is a predator buster, I guess is what you call that, and he caught a pedophile red-handed trying to pick up a 15-year-old girl. So naturally, now that his plans were foiled, he just threw that bitch into 12th gear and floored it.
Roger, I'm not gonna do nothing, I promise. I'm gonna call the police, Roger. I got your address, Roger. Roger, just chat, Roger. Roger, just chat. She's 15, Roger. You can't do that. Roger, shame on you, Roger. She's only 15 old, Roger. Roger.
Listen to that engine roar, the most testosterone-fueled contraption mankind has ever witnessed. What was even the plan here? Let's just suspend disbelief and assume someone would actually want to take a ride in this piece of shit. There's no passenger seat, so was Roger planning on having them sit in his lap? Or was he going to have to strap the 15-year-old girl to the roof like a fucking Christmas tree? Either way, he sticks out like a sore thumb. This is the opposite of what you want to use when trying to do something that's very much illegal. Unless that was his plan all along, like last resort, in case he got caught by somebody with authority, he could just argue, Your Honor, how could I have been there trying to pick up a 15-year-old girl? I mean, have you seen what I drive? Now there is no way in hell this fucking little tyke is street legal. He has to be violating some kind of road laws driving this armored shopping cart. I also can't help but appreciate the cameraman. Not only is he somehow able to keep up with this speed demon on foot, but I love his presentation and how he acknowledges the pedophile on a first name basis. He says Roger more times than the battle droids do in Lego Star Wars, and I'm all for that. He speaks with such authority that every time he says Roger, I actually let out a good belly laugh just from the sheer absurdity of this. I just can't get over the ridiculousness of Roger's vehicle. If you look in the cockpit, there's a single giant red button and like 2 other things on the entire dash. I'm actually convinced he just modified a little tyke's car in order to save a quick buck.
Roger, she's only 15. I'm recording you. I have your address. The cops will go there, Roger. The cops will show up, Roger. Roger, I just want to have a chat with you, Roger. Roger, you know you can go to jail, Roger? She's 15, Roger. Shame on you, Roger. Shame on you. I won't take this to the police. Shame on you!
Somehow the video's not over and we got even more context to go off of. The cameraman was able to run back to his car after Roger pulled out onto the street and chase him down. I don't know how he did that with how fast Roger was going. I mean, he was cracking speeds not even the Flash could top. So he pulls up to Roger and continues to interview the man throughout this slow speed chase. I have no idea how much of this is legit, and frankly, I don't care if the video turns out to be fake, because that paddy wagon is very much real, and I'll continue to rip on it just because of its sheer stupidity.
Hey, Roger! Roger! Can we talk? Oh my god! That thing was small.
So we get yet another angle of Roger zipping by in his lunchbox, and even the cameraman can't help but laugh at this point. It is shockingly small, and what's even more perplexing than the fact that Roger bought this is the fact that somebody actually made this and called it a car. I mean, hats off to Roger for having the balls to drive this down normal public roads, because it is basically a coffin with wheels. I have to wonder what people in the 1920s would think if they saw this. Cars were popping off, the Ford Model T was a revolution, and they were thinking to themselves, just you wait, gentlemen, in 100 years from now, we'll have flying cars. And then 2020 rolls around, and what we got is this, the Roger Mobile. Now, unsurprisingly, there were some car enthusiasts, myself included, who were scratching their heads trying to figure out what this was a few years ago, and somebody finally found it and linked it to the subreddit. It's apparently a ShopRider cabin mobility scooter, which is something I don't think anybody knew existed. It cost $7,500, but because Roger pimped his ride, I have to imagine it set him back about 10 grand, because no shot anyone would wrap this for anything less than $2,500. They'd be a bigger laughingstock than the person driving it otherwise. I also wanted to find some evidence that could disprove this thing being classified as a car, and I've never felt more ashamed. It turns out that because the cabin mobility scooter is a compact vehicle and can clock in at least 18 miles per hour, which is 3 miles over the required speed limit for something to be driven on secluded roads, it can be labeled as a car. Now, while it is shameful that this soda can is legally classified as a car, Roger was not driving it on secluded roads. He took that baby out on public roads to and from a local McDonald's, and at one point in the video, you can see a truck swerve into the opposite lane in order to get around it. So we'll add driving an unregistered vehicle to the list of crimes Roger's committed, along with allegedly trying to pick up a 15-year-old girl. I have to wonder what would have happened had police gotten involved. They'd rush to the scene of the crime in their cruiser just as Roger got on public roads, and then they just completely decimate it. I imagine with how fast police respond when somebody flees from the scene of a crime, the end result would be something straight out of GTA Online. That about wraps things up. I have no idea if Roger got arrested or if he still cruises around in a pimped out shopping cart. All I know is that the sheer stupidity of this car and the video itself made me want to talk about it. That's really about it. So,